Well, I'm getting a little older. When you get older, you start thinking about all the people you lost through the years and along the way. And, well, I'm starting to think maybe a career as a tour guide wasn't the right choice.
Rabbit shaves, rabbit shaves, rabbit shaves, rabbit shaves. Uh, uh. Rabbit shabs, steady with the wrist, precision flow, safety razor in his grip. That's his morning glow, lather up the foam, brush spinning like chrome. Toss the cartridge in the trash, that's a corporate clone. Barbershop scent, sandalwood and bay rum. Cartridge razors got no soul, just a cash drum. Says they tug and they pull, leave the skin in distress. Safety razor cuts clean, now he's feeling his best.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Rabbit Shaves. I'm Rabbit. Today, we are working on probably, can't remember if it's 3 or 4 days of growth, but it's gotta go. Gots to go. We're gonna be using Lock and Load by Yulay. I really like this one. I picked it up on the PIF table at the last Texas Wet Shavers meetup. And the thing with Yulay is you're not going to get 100% what the scent is off the tub. I find that's true with a lot of different, artisans. Where you're going to get it is splash. We'll talk more about that. I've got my Yulay bowl loaded up already. Pre-shave today. Again, Cedar Fever Cube. We're going to be using Phoenix Stainless Metaphor. And we're going to be using a Treat Carbon Steel, otherwise known as the Black Beauty. Give me 1 sec. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Got my brush, Phoenix Cyclotrode X. That baby glows in the dark. You've all seen it. We've got my shrunken head cup. Not necessary to soak my brush, but I like it. It's fun. Start building this up before we wash our face. So the scent notes on this one are bourbon, leather, and a little sandalwood. Now, I am not historically a bourbon scent guy, but this one is more of the bourbon kind of, I mean, you'd know if it wasn't there, but it's not up in your face. And when it's combined with the leather, which the leather note in this one isn't like sticking your nose in a saddle or some old leather, something or other. It's not an overpowering leather by any means. But this bourbon scent, it's really, really done nicely. I like it. We're getting into the winter months. I know some of you have already been winter months, but Texas, it's winter. This is a nice, cozy, so building the lather, the soap really opens up. Really well done. I wanted to get out of my comfort zone a little bit, use something that I wouldn't normally reach for just based on scent notes. And again, bourbon, typically not a fan, but it's like the sandalwood in this one kind of acts like a hall monitor and keeps the leather and the bourbon in check. And especially with the splash, as it dries down, the sandalwood really, really starts to be more of a prominent note. Like I say, these three notes all play really well together in this one. I think we're good there. Rinse the hands off. Now, with wet hands, because that's the safest way to do everything, we're going to load our blade. There we go. Today, I have got to go pick up some toys for my volunteer fire department. We do a Toys for Tots run every year around this time, and today's the day. So I will have a busy afternoon trying to get all these toys rounded up. All right, we're set. Now, back to the scent. It's almost nutty in like a not gourmand kind of way. Definitely not your typical bourbon. The leather is very, very tasteful, very classy. But the way they all play together is it's really nice. It's really nice. Cozy. It's just a good. I like it for winter and fall. I think that's this kind of maybe an unsung winter fall type scent. But yeah, time for the cube. So how was everybody's week? Everybody have a good week. What'd you do? I played farmer. Went and did cattle, cubes, feed, that sort of stuff. Typical ranch hand work. And then it was a quiet week from the fire department. No tones, no nothing. We'll sit here and it'll be 11 o'clock at night and we'll get a tone. And because we're not paid, we're not at the station. So we've got to leave our houses, get all the way to the station, and get there in a timely fashion. I really like the way Yulay is a nice cushion, nice thick lather. They do a really good job. I really enjoy it. All right. First pass. Let's do this. Now, I used to have a mustache. It was pretty big. And last night, my wife had mentioned, why don't you grow it back for the channel? And I was like, I don't know. That's a lot of work. But what do you think? Should we grow it back? I don't know. One issue I have is CPAP machine seal. The other issue is I like coffee. And when I drink my coffee, my mustache gets soaked. I don't know. What's your opinions? Are you a mustachioed muchacho? How do you deal with the old double sip with the mustache full of coffee? Now this razor is very efficient. This is the one I typically reach for when it's been 3 or 4 days, just so that I can knock it out quick. Get on my way. Provides a really good shape. The angle's a little different on this one. It took me a year. To figure out the angle. Me and this razor did not get along well. But it was my fault. Angle. Once I figured that out, it was off to the races. We got along famously. You almost want to ride the cap on this one. Almost. So, fire department does Toys for Tots every year. Do you guys have any, I don't know, charitable traditions or anything like Toys for Tots that you do every year with any type of organization? Let me know in the comments. This is typically where I get bit because I rush. Gotta slow it down, guys. Bloody first responder probably wouldn't make too good of an impression. We're going to call that a first pass. Alright, rinse will be back for a second pass. And we're back. All rinsed up, looking good. This isn't quite where I want to be, so we'll go second pass with across the grain. Now, with grain mapping, this is something that you might have heard of. Everybody's facial hair kind of grows in different directions. So you want to kind of take note which way yours goes. I'm 100% guilty of not following the map 100% to a T. And by the map, I mean my map. But if you can, and you understand it, grain mapping can make this routine much more enjoyable. Whoop, whoop. Guess who's changing his shirt? It can make it much more enjoyable. Which, an enjoyable routine is does not taste like leather or bourbon or sandalwood. An enjoyable routine is why I got into it. I'm sure others are in the same boat. Grain mapping, look it up, do it, recommend it. Anyway, all right, second pass, fellas, and I guess ladies, if you're watching, I don't know why. Well, my wife watches. Hi, honey. Yeah, once I figured this razor out, it was off to the races. It was great. But this back to the soap. It's phenomenal. It was my first tallow soap that I ever discovered. Well, Yulay was. And I really like what they're doing. It was a pleasant surprise. They're trying new things. Getting out of my comfort zone. Sometimes you find things you like. If you haven't or you're on the fence, I believe you can get samples on the Yulay website. Soaps for sure. I don't know about splashes, but definitely if you're curious, give them a try. I'm glad I did. Alright, enough of that. Toys for Tots. We live in a small community. And by small, I mean very, very small. So it's nice to be able to give back. Not a lot of the people in the community have a lot of means aside from, for the extras, toys and whatnot. And they all do the best they can, and we love them, and they support us. So we try to give back a little bit. We can make a difference in a couple of kids' lives this Halloween, or Halloween, Christmas. Yes, we gave candy out for Halloween. We can make a difference for Christmas for a couple kids, even if it's just a couple. We definitely try. So anyway, rinse, repeat. All right, got that rinse. This little guy right here, go away. I could realistically run out the door and be totally fine, but let's go round 3. What do you think? Anyway, so the way I like to, one thing I think of when smelling this wonderful soap and splash is my favorite pair of sweatpants. It's that comfortable. And like I say, winter here don't last very long, so I don't get to enjoy them sweats very much. So this is something I can take my sweats with me, so to speak. It's a terrible analogy, but you get it. I'm a goof. And round 3, let's do this. I don't like round 3 up here. It sucks for me. Anyway, what did everybody get their advents? I got mine. I don't know with everybody that'll be covering them if I necessarily should throw my hat in that ring. I'm just getting the hang of this, and I use that term loosely. I had some suggestions given to me, and upon further review, they were right. They were 100% right. So hopefully this video is a little better. sure trying. I don't have the biggest collection, but I have amassed a collection, and I feel like maybe this is a way to put it to use. I can just hear my chief now. What the hell took you so long? I'm sorry, boss. I was shaving. Talking to my 11 subscribers. Thank you, all 11 of you, and anybody who watches this. Yeah. Typical. Right here. Right here. We'll touch those up real quick. Better. Got it. Alright. Rinse. And we're back. Let's do some alum. I like alum. Some people don't use it. Some people do, and whichever one you are, that's all fine and dandy. You do you, boo-boo. I enjoy it. Anybody have any weird Christmas traditions? Like, I don't know, maybe your uncle dresses up as Santa and y'all run around and pelt them with candy canes. I don't know, something. Any weird traditions? We don't have any weird ones. But typically Christmas Eve is fast food because I'm not cooking and making dishes, and my wife isn't either. She's the one that introduced me to this. Fast food and board games and libations. That's our Christmas Eve. Whoo, that is nice. That is our Christmas Eve. Let's go ahead and rinse this off. It's getting closer, and we are running out of time for them last minute presents. Luckily, I think I got about 98% of mine done, but we'll see. Once I'm done getting toys for these children, I gotta come home and wrap presents myself. With the vanilla splashes, you really need to shake them up. But same could be said with a few different splashes out there. This is the splash is where it comes alive. Now, I do work outside. And my face is exposed more than in my neck, more than the rest of me is out in the elements, the heat, the cold, the wind, the dust, all that good stuff. And these vanilla splashes are a little I don't like to use the word oily because that can be derogatory, but it's a little more to it than your typical alcohol splash. And I really like them. I like them a lot, especially when your face is dried out and it really just puts that juice back up in you. Anyway, well, I'm a dork. I gotta run. Be good. Good to yourselves. Be good to others. Enjoy yourselves. We'll catch you again here on Rabbit Shaves.
Well, they call me Rabbit Shaves. I'm here to say, ooh yeah, thanks for dropping by. You made my day. Your time's a gift. I won't let it stray. So lean on back, let the fun replay. Oh yeah, feel that groove slide low. Oh yeah, let that gratitude show. Be